Well, as the year draws to a close, the scene has been set for a much tighter political year in 2023. The past few months have been horrific for Anthony Albanese and the federal government. I mean, you've had the bungled release of criminal immigration detainees, and the government was clearly caught on the hop despite having known that the High Court's decision was a possibility since June. An asylum seeker boat reached Australian shores for the first time in years, a breach, of course, of Operation Sovereign Borders. Albanese went to China and came back basically empty-handed for, well, except this enlightening exchange with Xi Jinping.
President Xi relayed stories about his visits to Australia, including we had an exchange about, he spoke about the Tasmanian devils as being cute animals in Australia. I pointed out that whilst I like Tasmanian devils, they're probably not as cute as pandas.
People were saying that we have a handsome boy coming from Australia.
The mind boggles, eh? And the PM's policy baby, the voice to Parliament, of course, fell over in spectacular fashion. Now, I maintain that the loss of the voice wasn't a huge political loss for Albanese because no one really cared about it. The only issue on anyone's mind, according to all the polling, is cost of living and cost of living. The PM could have just moved on, chalked it up as a loss and got on with the job. But he's looked downtrodden ever since he was defeated, and in politics, perception is reality, which is perhaps why a Newspoll out today shows Australians rate opposition leader Peter Dutton as more experienced, more decisive and strong, and having a better understanding of the major issues than the Prime Minister. The government has lost bark since October. At quite a few points, it's looked as though Dutton was governing from the opposition. I mean, it was the opposition's amendments to the first bill to restrict the immigration detainees, which the government initially opposed and then accepted in full, that gave it any teeth. He's been stronger on anti-Semitism, stronger on immigration, which of course the government then adopted, and stronger on cost of living. Albanese, meanwhile, has provided really no practical assistance with the cost of living and has instead been swanning around the world, Airbus Albo, dancing it up in the Pacific. Dutton has come into his own as a leader. He's looking prime ministerial, and it's starting, obviously, thanks to this polling, to cut through. Now, we haven't had a one-term federal government since 1931, when the Scullin government, a Labor government, was defeated by Joseph Lyons. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Albanese's government only has the slimmest majority of 2 seats. 2 seats change hands and you're done. The next question, of course, would be who could form a minority government? Do the Greens go into coalition with Labor? Would the Teals, given they've been elected almost exclusively from old Liberal seats, side with Labor or the coalition? Things could certainly get very interesting, and it's not like we haven't been in this position in recent history. The Rudd-Gillard combo in 2010 wiped 11 seats off their landslide victory in 2007 and put themselves in minority government. So unless Albanese can dramatically change course in the new year, he ought to be worried. He appears weak and his cabinet appears even weaker. Incompetence is widespread. They've been strong-armed repeatedly by the opposition. Dutton has grown immensely as a leader. If Albo can't arrest the fall, nor will he be able to stop Dutton's rise. But this is my prediction. The Commonwealth Bank expects interest rates to start falling in September. As soon as interest rates and inflation begin to fall, the government will call an early election and campaign on a platform of, well, we've done the hard yards, we've got through the worst of it, and now we need your support to get the job done. That's exactly what Bob Hawke did in 1987 after a difficult 3 years in government. Now, Albanese is no Hawke, far from it, we know that, but the message was, let's stick together, let's see it through. And at that time, it worked.